So, hello and welcome on this fine evening. I am melting away here in Denmark, but I have been lured into Blood Bowl on this fine evening on the promise of amazing Blood Bowl. I am at least looking very much forward to this match, and I am also lucky enough to have Electrivision joining me here. Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Good to be here as always.
Great to see you here again. So, have you been melting away too in England?
It's calmed down a bit recently, thankfully. But like for like the past couple of weeks, it's been very, very warm and kind of miserable. But now it's still kind of warm, but it's a little bit overcast and there's a bit of a breeze now. So like it's not that bad anymore, thankfully.
It's the same here. Like last week, we were almost dying. Also because I live somewhere where there's let's call it a lot of insulation and a lot of windows, which makes for nice winters, but makes for very warm summers here. Oh, math 33 degrees. That's death. That's literally death for me. I would die. I hope your exams are going fine. Madness.
It's yeah, for the UK, it's been a lot of in the mid 20 degrees. Um,
So at least for
and
my
just yeah.
I was going to say, at least from my experience. So I lived in Ireland for a couple of years too, and also a few years in England. And it's just as much as the Danes, the people of those England and Ireland similar. We don't do well with heat. It's like that's not how this is like rain, wind, bad weather. That's fine. That we used to. We'll complain about it, of course, but we're used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But a few degrees over 20, and it just goes like this. No. This shouldn't be.
Yeah, like I mean, all the houses are made of brick and stuff, and
Yeah.
they're meant to keep the heat in. So the second it gets hot, like everything just decides it wants to melt, and it's just like okay, like nothing's helping here. It's just miserable.
Yeah. So I think let's change the subject to something a little bit more fitting of the broadcast. We are about to see some murdering and killing. I'm fairly sure about it, and we're also going to see some daring plays. I'm fairly sure of it. I will be honest. I am looking very much forward to this match because I think both the quality of the coaches, but also of the teams, makes for a very interesting matchup here. I'm hopefully sharing the screen with the teams that so that everyone can see the lovely teams that we have of Lalalaprout and Mark, and I think at least from my take very like the epitome of both teams, like a kill cares team, like more or less out of the textbook, of course a little bit of with randoms and stuff like that, and a more or less textbook dark elf, and both good versions I would say of each team. What do you think?
Um, yeah, I think that kind of sums it up quite nicely, doesn't it? You've got like the kind of stereotypical dark elf team. You know, you've got your blodge, a bit of tackle, bit of sidestep, that sort of stuff. And then you've got your kind of like up and coming in the team value Killy Chaos that, you know, if they start swinging and have a little bit of a hot start, then it's going to be a really tough game.
I think at least when we come to the predictions part, I think a huge thing is going to come down to those early armor rolls and injury rolls because a chaos team, like you said, like if the killing starts early, I think Dark Elves is going to be in for a rough time. If the bludge saves or the armor saves for like the first half, I think the chaos team is going to be in for a rough match. There is not
Yeah.
a lot of tackle on the chaos team, and though I am pleasantly surprised by the 10 tackles on the Beastman, and I think
It must be random, surely.
I think there's a good chance. Should almost be that from the team at the cost. Yeah, it's got to be a random more or less. I think.
Yeah, there's one like perfect killer that's got all the skills you could ever need, and then everything else just looks like it's more just fitting a role,
Yeah,
or having a bit of randoms and seeing
yeah,
what extra value they can squeeze out of it.
it's random.
Will the tentacles do anything? Probably not. But I mean, you never know, right?
It's one of those skills like Disturbing Presence. It can go completely unnoticed for a whole match and not matter at any point, or it can really fuck your day. Because the nasty thing about both those two skills is like it when it turns up, it really makes a difference. And Tentacles is even worse than the other one because you're not allowed to reroll that skill. So if I get Tentacle, I'm just stuck. There's no like there like at least if with Disturbing Presence, right? You can reroll. You don't really want to, but you can. With Tentacle, you just on that 6, you're just stuck. And that
Yeah, I've definitely had some games where I've been like, right, I have like 3 players getting tagged by the rot spawn,
yeah.
or another player with tentacles, and I'm like, I need at least one of you to dodge, and they all got sucked by tentacles, and it completely ruined the entire drive.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, if tentacles is going to succeed every time, there's not really much I can do about that one.
No. I think also maybe just for context for those who are not aware, so this is a technically FA Cup, so it's technically all divisions against all divisions, but both of these are in Aldorf West, which is also where you are, so you have had the, let's call it, joy of playing these teams.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I've not played the Chaos yet, but that's coming soon. I've played Mark, and my armor was paper, and it was not a great experience. And yeah, which is a shame because I think that was my first and only loss so far.
yeah,
And but yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I can't really throw anything away from Mark because Mark, he positioned his diving tackles in the right places, the tackles in the right places, positioned his players in the right ways. Didn't let me like really get back into things with the player lead. So it was just Mark played it very well, and it got to a point where I didn't have enough players. So it was one of those.
yeah. You generally know that you are in a bad spot when you start being outnumbered by elves. It's generally never the spot you should be in.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mirror match as well, so like
Oh
it,
yeah.
it was. I was really hoping it was going to be really good as a dark elf versus dark elf, but when you have 2 deaths, 1
Oh.
MNG, and 2 niggling injuries, and they get 1 KO, it's
Oh.
yeah, it is what it is. It's Blood Bowl. I wasn't unfortunately was not allowed to win that one. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I just have those matches once in a while where it's like nothing goes your way, and the other like, oh, you want to do a long bomb, of course, and you want to catch it in free tackle zones, of course. Who cares? That seems reasonable.
I mean, Mark didn't even have to do that, which was awesome for Mark.
Yeah,
He just kind of walked it forward, and every hit was kind of killing something. Um, but yeah, he didn't even let me have like a random cheeky like bit of dice on the ball or anything. So yeah,
yeah. That is that should be. I think Phil. I played Phil's Dark Elves. I think round 4 or something, and it was just one of those matches where like he could do nothing wrong. I even have the bomber, and bomber would hit the elves and would be no 4 pluses. So none of them get hits, even though there's 5 underneath it. Yeah, and then one turn he hit 2, and it just happened to be the bolt holder and the one blocking it. And the orcs ran in, picked up the ball, and ran away with it, and he never saw the ball again. So it's just like he had gotten everything else, but just like that small tweak of luck, that was all that it took, right? So, but yeah, the dice can be really mean. So for those who are interested in the match start, it should technically be starting in 3 minutes each time. I am trying to keep an eye on it, so that while we speak here, the match should probably be starting soon. I will just reiterate for you who are not aware of the format. So these are friendly matches played between the coaches of the UKBBL League of all the divisions, meaning that technically you could be in the lowest tier playing against the highest tier and so on. We have had lowest or lower tiers win the whole FA Cup, so it is possible. It's not common, but it does happen. In this case, we have 2 from Aldorf West, who are now in the semifinal. So that's second highest tier for those who are not familiar with that thing. Being friendly matches also means that there is no permanent death. There's no star player points from this. So they can take some more, let's call it risky plays here than they would probably do in the league. If the match is still a draw after the two halves, there will be overtime. And should it still be a draw, there will be the sad excuse for determining a winner of penalty kicks, where rerolls do not matter, as implemented per the standard Cyanide Games approach, which I think is fine. I think if this match goes into overtime, it will basically be down to whoever receives it in the third half. That's at least my prediction. So, Evie, who's going to win?
Oh god.
You know it was coming.
I mean, I'd like to say the Dark Elves.
Yeah.
But you never know, do you? Like literally, I think it's going to depend on some armor dice early on. I feel like if the Dark Elves can survive long enough, I think the Dark Elves have a good shot.
Yeah. So, of course, viewers, I would really also love to hear and see your predictions. I was going to say, I was more or less going to say exactly the same things as you, so now I have to say something else. I think the Dark Elves are going to win, and I think it's going to take either some really lucky and early important removals for that to upset. I think the kill aspect of the Chaos team is like if they were playing against orcs or dwarves or anything like above the higher armor battle class that would really swing the match in that way. I think they're gonna be outdanced basically. But again, it doesn't take many lucky punches with that claw and things will go very differently.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to support the elves. Don't want to support the bash. There's already too much of it. So,
yeah.
I'd like to see the agility win over, but yeah, we'll see.
So having maybe also a slight personal interest in the outcome of this match, so I might potentially have to face them in the final. I would like the Dark Elves to win because I think at least my poor orcs would fare better against that than those claws because they would just mince the orcs, I think, in a short time. So, oh god, yeah, 2 hits. That is what is that thing? I'm completely new to Twitch here, so someone is started make predictions thing. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes, prediction for who's going to win the game.
Oh, I love that. I love the fact that I am responsible for running the channel, and I have no idea how this is happening or works. So I just love it. That's just
yeah. Any mod can like do predictions and that sort of stuff.
Perfect. Streamers can't cast predictions in their own channel. What a lot of hoopla. That I think is.
Oh yeah. You're not allowed to because you've got infinite points.
Oh, that's lovely. So I'm just gonna double check here if they are about to start. The time should say the match is starting now, at least.
Yep, you two can start whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
We're all ready for it now, so we're all good.
Otherwise, we will be sitting here for a long evening.
Yeah.
So for those who are not aware and are really impatient, if you watch through the client and you can hear us talking, you will have a more real time seeing what's happening as Twitch is slightly delayed. But for most cases, I would recommend just watching here, because otherwise the sound and the what you're seeing will not match completely. So, just friendly advice. Yes, of course. Best of luck to the both of you. And West is best. That is, we have 5 of the 5. We have 4 of the 5 final candidates are from West. So we are in a good position to.
Oh, really?
Yes. So potentially, if Ringtail wins the quarterfinal versus Splitsy, we will have a semifinal which is purely Altdorf West, and we will have a semifinal that is purely Prem West. Which is, I think, like the odds of that is completely off the deep end, but that's just funny, I think.
West is best.
Clearly. Just don't look at how many Premiership playoffs that West have won, because that's clearly misleading. That's just no indication of anything.
I don't even know what that statistic is. It's fine.
I think it's like, I think West won 1 and 5.
Well, we're gonna have to pump those numbers up.
Those rookie numbers, yeah, we need to do something. The loading here. It is on. So I swap, and we're off to the races. We missed the coin toss.
We missed the coin toss, but we are in the game now, watching some setups. I imagine, considering the Dark Elves are on defense, that the Chaos team won the toss and have decided that they want the ball and they want to mud flicks.
I think that's a good guess. I'm fairly sure the Dark Elves would have preferred to start off with the Daka. But
was there any inducement?
No, I think that should be like 20k inducement. So yeah, an assistant coach here. That's it. So
I had some inducements in my UKBBL game today. Good whole 500,000 left.
Wow. Well, I think it's also because that Mark has his assassin with multiple block missing. Yeah. Otherwise, there would have definitely been some inducements. Though I'm not sure how sad he is that that player didn't make it for this match. I think he'd rather have.
No, yeah, it's a weird player. It's a really interesting player because he's gone for the whole is it dodge, sidestep, and multi block.
Yeah.
And even in a match versus Chaos, the only issue with it is that you have to protect it. But if you're able to protect it until the dying moments, that turn 6, 7, 8, and then you just go nah, and it's stuck to your ball carrier, and nothing can really get to it.
Yeah.
Or nothing with tackle or block can get to it. You're in such a fantastic position.
Well, I was playing the community event today, and the Dark Elf team, thanks to you, by the way, has also a multi-block assassin, actually 2 of them. And one of them was caught on the line of skirmish, and he opted to badly hurt 2 sources. He felt that was just use of his turn.
Yeah, that's roll for the lizard. Yeah, I mean, I created all the teams for that event. It was super fun.
Yeah.
I played a quick one of the Dark Elves early on in the season, and I did the same thing to some orcs where I just stabbed and KO'd a troll off the line of scrimmage and was like, "Yep, bye."
Well, that's early removal. But yeah. At least the first blood has been spilled already. So the Dark Elves is already capped. Well, that's wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you sort of backed yourself into that one. I think you should have left it and just protected instead. I think that was a little bit. Got carried away there. Don't like that corridor there.
I don't like the corridor, but it's also like you'd have to blitz to open it up, and it's not like it.
Cheeky dodging just through and just going like, I'm gonna hope. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, it's also still 3-2s as well, right? So it's just like, it's not something that Elves necessarily concern themselves with. They do 3-2s whenever the hell they want, but
that or they will snake both turn dice, right? that's usually.
Ooh, I'm looking at this, and it looks like the blitz is going to be on the frenzy player.
Yeah, I
now,
think so.
What worries me is there's a frenzy player.
Yeah.
Again, and that's already quite near the sidelines.
I think both is playing quite, let's call it, greedy at this point, and I think they might come to regret it. But then again, I'm also, let's call it, a cautious player, so it's probably not my standard that should be used. But yeah.
I do like to play more. I do like to play more cautious with Dark Elves, just because I mean they've got the higher armor, right? So
Yeah.
you can just play a little bit more of a shepherd them down one direction, and then just kind of screen them off and see what they do, and then just kind of pinch them against the sidelines and stuff. But yeah. I definitely I play way more aggressive and stuff with teams like Skaven and Woodies, because I think they've not got the armor and they need to go after the ball. But with Dark Elves, they're in this just perfect middle ground where they've got a little bit of armor and they can just kind of sit in front of you a little bit.
They can definitely take a lot more attrition than the other Elves or Skaven can.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I would waste one turn just to get that player off the field. Just to.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm value blitzing that blood sidestepper, and I'm tempted to kick it in the face if it goes down.
As a Chaos player, I would be slightly concerned about my bench here to start fouling, but I can see why you want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, with a one-player bench, if you get rid of one of their blodge sidestep tackle players, like that's just incredible.
Oh, the Daggers has a bench of one still. No, that they have one, which is and an injury, so that's the players, right? While he went down.
They went for the surf instead. It's fair enough.
I think because the reason why I would go for that is, or try for that at least, is that if you can get the Dark Elves down to 9 players, it's going to get really hard to block off the Chaos from moving it forward. With 10 players at this amount of sidestep and blodge, 4th mod movement is going to be limited.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also kind of why, like, you only get turns 1, 2, and maybe 3 to go for value blitzes and maybe value fouls.
Yeah.
Because after that point, I feel like you're not able to dictate where the blitzes are. The blitzes are just where you need to be moving into.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just like, okay, I mean, I have to blitz whatever's in the way, whether it's alignment or whatever. And oftentimes it's alignment. And then if you're removing alignment, yeah, it's fine, but it's not.
Well,
it's also not what you want.
It's not what you want, but you also need the numbers, right? Like you need to, like 10 elves on a pitch is going to block you more or less, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with the elves. It's how many elves do they have on the field, and how far up the field are you? Because the less up the field you are, the less elves they need to stop you.
Yeah.
The later on into the half it gets.
Do you try to evacuate that guy, or do you just hope Bludge saves you?
I think he has to leave it. I feel like if you don't leave that stud where it is, the Chaos get massive amounts of like movement forwards, which they should still get, in my opinion. I feel like the Chaos team should be. Oh, they're not doing what I thought they should do. But what I thought they should do was be charging down the right.
Yeah, but he's stuck here. Like he's connected with the ball carrier. He pinched the corner, so he attacked the ball carrier. And I get why you as Chaos don't want to dodge out here, but that eats your blitz, right? And that's what the Dark is going for.
Yeah.
And now you like of course you can move over here, but then it's like you got these three to screen with, and then you are now dependent on that this guy actually leaves some of them, and that starts to dodge through. This is not dangerous,
Yeah,
but not optimal either, to say the least.
Yeah, like the that sidestepper needs to go down.
Yeah. Because, like, you basically get max 2 chances. Yeah, then you wrestle him. Gotta wrestle him.
I'd wrestle it. Yeah.
Yeah. We know. Oh, that's
No
brave.
wrestle.
Because if he starts touching down here and starts...
Well, that's it. Yeah, it starts getting like based cage.
Yeah.
And you start getting in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, now that guy, what's that guy called? Well, Blood seems to at least be activated so far. Oh, he moves close. Oh, this is... I'm glad
Well, there's
I'm
no
not...
extra hit for that sidestepper. I think if I'm that sidestepper, I'd be tempted just to sidestep out because I don't think there's like moving forwards like this. It's like okay, but now what? There's no extra hit for it to get in even further. Finally rolls a power.
Armor sticks.
Has left like a 4+1 dice.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you'd have to get someone. Actually, no, not really. You won't be able to mark it out, so it would be uphill.
Yeah. Go up here, then you can take a flat dice.
I think this is why the sidestepper that's still on its feet, I would have sidestepped just away because at the moment it's not doing anything. It can't do anything where it's stood. Like, and if you sidestepped away, they're not going to follow you because you were going to be able to hit them if they did, and then you can use the mighty blow to go blitz something else. Now, I mean, you still can, but it's going to cost you a dodge.
Yeah, I think as this position, as Dagoff player, you're not worried about the dodging.
I mean, yeah, you're not worried about the dodging, but
yeah, because now
never a good thing.
If this goes over here, this is the Chaos is getting into some really dangerous territory already here.
Yeah, it's just the multitude of sidesteppers.
Yeah. This is what we talked about before the match, right? Like if Chaos don't get some quick removals, which they got one removal, which is nice, but that's just not an important place in the grand scheme of things. They're gonna be out positioned like this. This is choking them out of the game. Like he doesn't need to do anything. Like him pulling action. Oh, are you cheeky enough to step in here? Yeah, I would do that.
I am. I'm definitely cheeky enough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, you're probably going to get hit with the frenzy player.
Yeah.
Next.
But like you sidestep over here. First move, right? Like and then your chaos player is really screwed, right? So
Oh yeah, that's true.
you can't always like sidestep is an amazing skill. Yeah, this is definitely not the position the chaos player wanted to be in.
No, cheeky pow.
Gets a clean pow there at least.
Yeah, this is very good. I feel like there can be some a little bit of forward momentum here.
Well, it definitely lets off at least another nut armor break. Just like a stun here would be like a huge thing. But yeah, and it's just shy, just one shy of breaking armor with the mighty blow there. And another pow. Well, that helps a bit.
Your the Dark Elves are living and dying from the powers now. Thankfully, their armor's holding though. So like,
yeah. You talked about like the fouling, right? Like you're not fouling with these two pieces. No. So I think ground here is safe, though. I guess like how do you build? Was that's free? Use that as a coin.
Imagine turn 2 if they would have went for the value blitz on the blodge sidestep, and then they would have like hit it and got rid of it. Then you only have to deal with 2, right?
Just a KO is fine. Like just off the field.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is what you're in that territory now where the Dark Elves want you to be in, where it's you are now blitzing what they are essentially telling you to blitz.
Yeah. And just to make it even worse, it is like you are now turn 4 and you are on the middle of the pitch.
But has managed to roll all the powers.
Free pow, free powers in 5 rolls. But you got Bates Cage now.
Yes. There is a
And
there's a very good chance that this ball is going to get 1 dice.
Yeah, because you can't even leave him here. He stands up, he pows. Like you. Are we gonna foul? Is that what we're?
I'm not gonna lie. It might actually be the play. It's not a good play, but it is probably the play.
One guy goes over here.
They could have. Oh,
What is this?
they're just gonna gamble.
I did this. This is gonna be dice in the ball. It's gonna be a question of how many dice. I think it's gonna be 2 dice.
I think it's 1. It's at least 1 into 1.
Minimum. We assist over here. Get 2 dice here. Then we put an assist here. Remove that, and now we got assists. Hopefully, like you need a power from this 2 dice there, but then you got 2 dice here.
What I would do is assist on the right and then hit an assist there and hit with that just to get rid of the tackle player. But I'd be like wrapping something around the back just to mark the big hand prehensile tail player, and then I'd just be doing the 1 dice, and then pushing it into more players, and then getting a 2 dice that way on the return hit, and just standing up other stuff.
That push.
Because I feel like if you get the 1 dice here and you get a knockdown and the ball bobbles off somewhere,
I don't like that.
No, I don't mind this.
That should have been there.
I feel like if you 1 dice now with the mighty blow player, you're I don't like that move. because I was gonna.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, 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 no. This
oh,
is
this
not
is.
gets away with it. But yeah. Hey, I would also say like I would have had like Mark gets a little bit lucky here that like they should have caught it. It's three attempts, right? And if he just had,
So imagine if it was hitting the other way. Though.
yeah, it could
Imagine
so
if that
much.
was hitting the
Oh,
other way.
the tentacles didn't do anything. But like, I don't like that these are still on the floor. If this had gone sour, like you get a push, you reroll because it's going to get worse if you go in here because of the god, right? And you get the snake eye. They would still have been down. I don't want them down. Yeah, reroll now. Yeah. How much movement left? Should maybe have had a handoff to that guy. Girl, sorry.
I think this is fine.
Yeah.
With all the sidesteppers and everything, I think the recovery is a bit of a nightmare.
The Chaos definitely needs to be lucky here to get out of this situation, but yeah.
We did say though, didn't we?
Yeah.
If the killy part of the chaos didn't really do the killing, they were going to be in some trouble.
Yeah. And that's what we've definitely been seeing. That is some hitting. That seems to be a removal. Of what kind? Of the hurtful kind. You're gonna have to just eat that one.
Yeah.
Sucks, but you're gonna have to eat that one. Now, if this gets to be, let's call it, material-wise too expensive, the Chaos can win, I'd say, over time, but 2 removals and a half. Yeah. I just question if the Dark Elves gets the 2 touchdowns before then.
Tackle players have been actually useless.
Not very good at tackling until now. That's only taken like, what, 8, 10 dice? Is that another removal? Oh, okay. Yeah, just that. Just, no. Okay. I might not have agreed with that decision. If you couldn't tell. Sorry.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it either.
I don't like it.
No, because I'm thinking I'll be scoring soon. There'll be another. I get 75% chance I'll get it back for second half, and I'd rather keep my reroll. The APOC for hopefully a badly hurt, so I can get an additional player, because attrition is starting to mount here.
I don't think it's horrible just because it is turn 5 and this guarantees that you've gotten some use out of the Apo, and the likelihood of a badly hurt at this stage, like especially if you're gonna go and score quickly, it's gonna probably be on a lineman that you probably don't care about.
No, but I as much as I don't care about the linemen, I care about the numbers. The numbers. Oh yeah, no, you can't reroll that. As much as it sucks, you can't reroll. No.
Oh my god, rolls power on the greed. And gets the armor break too.
And this is why you shouldn't listen to me.
Oh my. I felt like that Chaos Warrior should have been 1 square over.
Yeah, I would have said over here, right? Like,
yeah, because it's just like what 3/2 dodge.
I'm just thinking, like, you could do cheeky, blitz in here, push him out, her out, right?
Yes. There's no way to get another assist though.
No, it's not easy. Alternatively, can we do a push in from... Yeah, but that starts to be a lot of dodges that I don't want to do. But you could also do it the other way around. You put this one in here.
1 dodge. One dodge, yeah, one
assist
dodge, two
there,
dodge.
and then click from above here and push it out here.
Two shape, push it out, yeah. So it's like what, two plus two dice.
Yeah.
And then 2 plus dodge.
Yeah.
Or, you could just do a 3-2.
Yeah.
It's away from tackle though, which is not great.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh.
yeah. This is where things get scary because you do need this next dodge.
Oh.
Oh, they
God,
just
yep.
they just went for the one dice instead. Oh
Hey.
god. Well, they're not away from tackle now. That is the problem.
It's a 2+. It's a
Yeah,
2+.
it's just
Are you cheeky and do the handoff here? No. You grab your balls and say, yep, touchdown. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, that was that one square to the right we talked about, yeah. Would probably have done a bit of different there. Yeah. I think the fact that they both have no rerolls at this point makes it hard for the chaos. Like there's so many dodges in the Dark Elves built in, I was gonna say, that they can probably dance to the sun turns blue, right? Whereas chaos is a little bit more like everything you do. Whereas and they're not gonna score without dodging at least a couple of times. Or
yeah.
handoff.
I think like as long as the Dark Elves don't take too much attrition now, they are in prime territory to get this win.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad because I put all my channel points on him winning.
And a blitz, just because why not?
I don't think the Blitz really does anything, unfortunately.
No, not a huge thing, but again, it helps again to create that pressure. That
Oh,
is,
then actually, no, I take it back. If they get rid of the frenzy player on the left, like there is just 2 plus dodging through into
yeah,
that middle field, which then causes a bunch of problems. Can't use the dodge skill for anything, but
that's 3 2 pluses to get there. But yeah, plus it would be nice to
I mean,
skip.
it's just getting players into the middle of the pitch. I think causes a lot of problems.
Alternatively, I could also see this tackle piece over here getting a mighty blow to the face. I think this is a little bit greedy for my taste, but
I think I like the green at this point.
so you would be doing the triple 2 pluses here.
Yeah, I'm doing everything I can to get into the middle of this pitch and put pressure. I'm not doing the rushes, but I'm getting as many players into that
Oh, okay.
area
Well,
as I can.
that I much more prefer. Yeah. Like you only doing the one, 2 plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and making sure that tentacles is absolutely useless.
yeah. Well, it's not like he doesn't get to try. The succeeding has somewhat been limited. But it is those famous, like again, like either you get all the sixes or you get none, right? Like there was like that one turn where he got like 3 powers in a row, more or less, right? And then there was all the other turns where there was no power. Yeah, this is like you go from as like Chaos player's point of view, where it's like I need to push my luck to hopefully get a touchdown. Where it's like you're almost down to the point where it's again like I have to defend to not get a further touchdown down here.
Yeah, yeah. Blitz as usual, proving why it is very good,
Yeah.
even though it's super annoying.
Yeah.
even Dark Elves, who are slow by elf standards,
Yeah.
are able to just completely put a load of pressure on you.
Oh, yeah. Important pal there. Stumbles would also have done it, of course, but important. Let's see. Oh, Bregonaut. That Elven armor has been magical sevens. I have seen a lot of rolls of 7 for sure here already. And like, it's chaos, but you're not even in the clear here. I get why we're doing this, but I also I'm like,
How do you get back into this game? Is this where you, as the chaos, are you like, right? We're not scoring. We are going to defend this ball, and I'm going to try and kill as many things as physically possible. And then in the next half, hope I can kill more things and stop them from scoring and take the ball off them, and then take it to overtime.
I think it's more or less at that point where you have to do that, because if you go into second half 2-0, right, the game is over. Basically, they're like with the Dark Elves receiving, you are not scoring 3 touchdowns. That's not happening without them scoring also. And this is also why, I get why we're doing, trying to get attrition, get some momentum, but I'm also thinking like any of this being skulls or Butterfingers, no, thank you. And it's over. The game is over. So you need to pick up the ball first, or you need to help assist with it, or like do something that actually. What do you do here? Yeah, you almost have to dodge instead. I was gonna say, because this here, this is an issue.
It's not safe, is it?
No, goes over here. That's 2 dice, and then we have a minimum 1 dice clean on here. Doing nothing else. I think we can bring this one around over here, and then it's 2 dice. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see.
If there's like any reasonable dice here, this ball is on the floor, and chaos are in
Trouble
a lot
again.
of trouble.
Yeah. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 2 dodges. Just hope not to get tentacled. And then you bring this down for the blitz. I would probably stand this up just to keep the pressure. And leave those 2 to see.
And then, I'm... Yeah.
Going for the soul dice. I would not have done that.
No, I would have went for the 2.
Yeah. Like, if we had a reroll, I see why we're doing this. But without the reroll, I don't see why we're doing this.
Yeah, Mathemus has said that, prehensile tail does make those dodges a little awkward.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that does make the math a bit different, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I'd have still absolutely done it anyway. 3+ with dodge is, 1 in 9 you fail.
Yeah.
And if you're doing
2 of them. But yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah.
But we get to test to see what happens if... Yeah. Just leave it in place. Just to keep the pressure.
Chaos might actually be in not a completely miserable spot in a second.
It's both.
They're not going to score.
Well, I was actually going to say they're actually in a better place to score now than they were before. Because the Dark Elves are attacking.
They're not scoring. It's not happening. Right?
Come on! Positive thinking.
Happening.
Bringing this guy down here, clearing here, clearly, because dice just works every time, right? And then we are dodging out here, so that this guy can blitz here. We can do the handoff, and then we're running. La 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 la. Don't tell me statistics here.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, there is zero world in which this ball ends up safe. And that was a nice pound though.
That's quite important. And
it
I think
might be if it actually does anything. Can it kill it?
no, it doesn't seem like it. Nope. Another 7. Wow, that's a lot of 7s. And 7 is just not enough.
Well,
I don't like why is this guy still on the floor? What anyways. Yeah, it's definitely lucky 7s for Mark, and definitely not lucky 7s for Lalalaprout. Like, if half of those 7s had been 6s and 8s instead, I think this match would look... There we go. That was a...
no
not
claw
a...
needed, no mighty blow needed. Let's go high roll.
Clearly just... And that was one of the important pieces. Sidestep and all the trimmings.
There needs to be a blitz, a knockdown, a dodge, and a handoff. Or a different plan, which involves no wrestle, which I'm kind of sad about. Because now there's no way in hell this ball is going to be safe.
No. Well, we could build something up here. But then we're giving them a touchdown, which I would happily do at this point. This I do not get. Active scoring threat. Enough to sack. That, oh, do you know, we should have built the cage here. Giving up the touchdown. And I know it's
Ooh, the scoring threat's in there.
and we haven't even touched this one yet. The attrition is starting. The attrition is starting to mount. Need to bring this guy over. At least claim some of this.
Oh, pro. Nearly saved the day.
Yeah.
Well, the Chaos have a scoring threat.
They have a scoring threat. I think they bought it too expensive, but we'll see. I think this might come back and bite them. It's brave.
The only good thing I can see here, and that I actually don't mind, is the fact that the elves don't have necessarily a good way of knocking the ball down, grabbing the ball, and giving it to a player and scoring them.
No.
They can knock the ball down, but they can't do anything with it.
No, they are a player short, and that's why the KO/injury over here is so important. Like, one more player here would have been huge. And we got the 6.
Oh, tentacles! Woo! Look at it.
Jesus. Okay. Okay. This you shouldn't sell the horse before you, or how that saying goes. This is turning quite heavily at the moment. I'm not saying that Chaos is winning yet, but they're in a lot.
If a 1 gets rolled on a dodge right now, and then it's just a 2-die blitz and then a handoff.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Like right now, he's gonna stand up, blitz this guy, right? Clear. He goes up, handoff, touchdown. Going
well, 3+ and then a 2+.
Yeah, but like that's well within the region of that's definitely possible, right? And I think if you go back 2 turns until Toll cares, you get a 3+, 2+ for a touchdown. I'd say they would take it in a heartbeat, right? Yeah, you needed that.
It's now a 3-3-2, which is less good.
Why are we standing here of all places?
I think they're trying to stop the chain push.
Uh,
Because if you go and slam the guard underneath the leader, it creates a box.
another break.
Do you care about the touchdown at this point? Do you just hit the Elves? I think you hit the Elves.
So for me, it's more a question of their scoring threats, active scoring threats for next turn. I need to deal with that first. I rather stop the Dark Elves' potential touchdown than potentially score myself. Because one I can recover next turn, the other I can't. Recover next half. I can't recover the 2-0. Yeah. Wow.
3-3.
Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And now the dice swing because there's still a Dark Elf standing down here. Not in a good place, but it's still standing. So what you do is I would have brought that one down here. Let's in here to push it out here. Magically go in and pick up the ball and get it to there. And then from here, you go down and you try to pass. Why we... No.
No, I feel like you need the if you're going to try and go for the second touchdown, which I guess maybe just not right. Do you need to go for a second touchdown?
I would probably put it this way. I would definitely done so because the odds of actually removing one of the chaos players are so slim, especially without Mighty Blow, that even if it's a 1 in 6 or a 1 in 12 chance that I get a 4 score, I'd rather take that because that's still probably better chance than I will make a removal. And if I get that 1 in 12, the game is over. If I get a removal, it does help. Not saying that, but it's not the end of the match. The other would be effectively the end of the match, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Dark Elves looking like they are down to 8 players.
Yeah.
Which is less than you'd like.
Yeah, if that KO just been back, it would have been fine.
I mean, even 9 is less than you'd like.
Yeah, but like at least, so at least from my experience of playing Dark Elves is like the difference between like you want to have 11, right? Like that's always you want, but 11 or 10 doesn't really, at least to my experience, feel like much of a difference. Once you get down to 9 or 8, it gets crucial, and once you get below 7, it really is problematic because the how to say the multiplicity of things you can do with one player versus you can do with 11 is just so much more. And if you only have 3 players, you can basically, as the opponent, triple tack each of those 3 players and still have players left, right? Whereas if you have 6 players, they can't double tack in your players. Then you still have players left, right? And that's at least from Mark's point of view. I think at this point, like he has a lot of the crucial players left. The bigger question, I think, that his question is with 8 players: do you do the DACA here, or do you try for a quick touchdown?
Oh, that's a good question. I
It
think
definitely looks like he's going for the quick score. I might have gone for the DACA.
I am going for the quick score based on one thing.
Yeah,
The Chaos have put both of the tackle players on the same side of the field.
that is a good point.
So I am now deciding that they're not going to roll a POW. They're not going to be able to necessarily stop me. I'm going to grab the ball, giving it to a witch. I'm running it forwards and screening it the best I can. As long as they don't get dice on the ball, they can surround me all I want. all they want, and then it's just hope Tentacles doesn't work on a 6.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of burn your rerolls, you get the touchdown, and you're like, right, done, dusted. It's 2-0. I'm golden. I can't lose this anymore. It's now just, are they able to score twice and get a draw and take it to overtime?
The problem is if
And
they take it to overtime, well,
if it gets to overtime, the Dark Elves, in my opinion, are screwed.
yeah. Especially also because if Chaos have been able to make 2 touchdowns, they probably also have been able to make more attrition. And if they made more attrition, you are in a really... I don't like this. This is, in my opinion, neither nor. Either we need to have credible scoring threats or not.
Yeah, because I feel like now what's going to happen is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 players. They have 11 players. And technically, you've got 7 players because you've got someone that has to carry the ball. And now they're able to reposition. So now they're going to be able to, 1, cut off that flank, and 2, start basing everything else up. And you're not going to have the players, and you don't have everybody having dodge, and you don't have the movement to get away from them. And they are going to just lean into you. And when you fail something, it's going to be painful.
Oh, yeah. I think right now, Lalalaprout would have given quite a bit for this player being just one to the right, so he could actually have surfed one of these 2. But yeah.
I feel like it's going to go poorly now. I think this is why
this concerns me.
You have to commit to either the runaway and Daka,
Yeah.
or withdrawn offense, or you need to commit on the 2-turn and be prepared to roll some dice.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do both.
No. I think if also the sort of the perk of the only problem, like if you go for the tweak 2-turn and it fails, right? You are giving the Chaos player an option of going for a 1-1 and a lot of attrition, or try to go close for the match. And they probably won't go for closing the match. They'll probably try to go for the attrition, right? At least that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Now, as much as we said that this was a bad idea, I think Lalalaprout is going to look back on this and regret this. Oh, we are... Is what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, he's...
There is dice on the ball here. Oh, and this was one of the things I was a bit worried about, right?
I didn't even see that. I didn't count because I just assumed, of course, he'd counted that was not within reach.
I'll be honest, I didn't count it myself. I thought, okay, he's probably going to be like 1 square out of range. He's going to be, at that distance. And he's, or there's just like a simple screen to not let that happen.
I will take my words back and say that Lalalaprout is probably not going to regret this turn.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No, because this is sort of what you were hoping for. Like this, like.
This is what I said was going to happen, right? Like they've just leaned into you. They've shut down your scoring threats, or your kind of scoring threats. They've leaned into the rest of your team, and now,
if that had been a double one, I think that might risk being in game, right?
Well, you got to look now. Like the team is awfully split, isn't it?
I would pick Chaos right here, right now, if I were playing. I don't see Dark Elf holding. Like how do we get out of this? Again, we can drag it out for another turn, but this cage down here is going to get pummeled next turn again.
Yep, and then you've got, I bet, was it 3-3-2 to get one of those out, 3-2 to get the other one out.
Yeah. And you need to get these out now.
It has to. You have to do the witch first because it's got dodge, so it's got to be a 3/2 out and then off into the middle somewhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
off to the side. Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's a bit awkward. I would have put it as a scoring threat personally, but okay.
yeah, I don't know if it's because he's going to go for cheeky blitz here and hoping for that, but if not, then I don't get why we down like scoring for it.
Blitz has already happened because that's what they hit.
Yeah, no, it's more like a cheeky one dice here. Once all of this, of course, works out for you in a second. No, I'm not saving that before I'm saving that one.
No, I don't care about the one on the right. I'll be honest. It's got no dodge. It's just a basic blitzer. Like,
but it is a piece. That's what I care about. Like this one, like you get 2 dice, no 6s. I sidestep. I'm gone. You can't. He's not really in much of a danger. He's gonna get surfed, and if he gets surfed, we are down to what's that? 7 players, and one of them is carrying the ball, so that's 6.
What I'm thinking about is that player is almost guaranteed to get surfed unless it fails to dodge. If it has a chance to dodge.
No.
But
Like I just want to
it is taking up 2 players' activations for that surf. But if you do something like that, you need to be ready to pedal to the metal and get gone.
Yeah, but like if you don't have a scoring front, right? So you don't have any way to reset. I would value the piece there because whether I have 6 players to play the ball to a 7.
Yeah. I would be playing the witch as a scoring threat. It'd get blitzed with tackle, which would suck. Because they do have the one in the backfield.
Oh yeah, but at least again, like then you are, by putting it up here, you are eating the blitz, right? Because then he has to take down the witch, and he can't then go for the ball carrier. By not eating the blitz up here, like forcing my opponent to use it up here, then I'm gonna get it down here. And
I feel like things are going to get pretty enclosed pretty quickly.
I think the if, and that's an if the Dark Elves gets a little bit lucky here and they survive this chaos, quite literally chaos play here, I think they will win the match. But I'm also they're gonna need to probably roll a little bit more than average, or Lalalaprout to do something that's not optimal. Both are potentially like something could happen, right? Alone that factor here now again, like on a 6, if you try to dodge out, he's stuck. That's just
Yeah, it's really not good.
no.
I think you have to blitz. I think you have to blitz the tentacles player.
Oh yeah. Because that's the only, like right now, if I was the Dark Elves, I would be looking at this side going like, yeah, you basically giving me, if I blitz out here, remove this, I can run up here, I can definitely build a screen, and with a little bit of luck, I can actually put a player up here. So,
you just need a screen.
Yeah.
You need to be far enough forward. You need a scoring threat. You need a screen, and you need to make sure that they can't hit the ball. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That has caused some problems, though.
Yeah, that one there changes quite a bit because now it's not 2 dice if you go in here, and it also means that we
Elf is free to run.
Yeah.
The one in the middle of the pit. It is free basically to run on a 2+.
And it catches on the 3+, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bit of chain pushing going on.
Yeah. I get what we're doing. Oh.
I don't.
Wow, that's I must in a positive way say I like the cojones of these Elves.
I think you've got to at this point.
Oh yeah,
you don't really have much of a choice.
No. Are we gonna go for the 2, 3,
Do not
4,
cut the
5,
corner
6,
and get
7.
tentacles.
No. Of course, we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can actually run over here, do handoff. I'm gonna go down there and do the handoff there, and then run off. Wow. I'm not sure
Yeah,
that's the right play, but they will.
You can run off, but they will catch you.
So, like, if we go up,
Unless that blodge sidestepper in the middle of the pitch does a 3-2 out and marks the tackle player, but
yeah,
no, they're not doing that either.
no, I think he should have done that. In fairness, this is not the right.
No, I think this is fine. This is the safer play. If the tentacles doesn't screw things.
Yeah, I was going to say you should have pulled out this one first. Then if you know that whether this, because if that's not tentacles, that's the prehensile tail.
It was prehensile tail, yeah.
It makes a huge difference. Of course, it's still 3+, but at least you get 1 in 9, right?
I think now you need to do the 3+2+ with the middle side stepper, and you need to go and get rounded top end.
Yeah. The problem is also just like the chaos now has time to cut off all forward movement.
Oh, they've gone for the 4.
Yeah, not fan of that. Not fan of that.
No. I mean, I think they maybe had some dice on the ball if they didn't do that, but now, yeah, they're getting into this issue of
you're gonna get blocked off.
You're gonna get blocked off, but they do have the blitzer on the top right. Yeah, prone blitzer on top right.
Yeah.
Which can essentially be your scoring threat, get out of jail for free card if you can get the ball to it.
Yeah, but how do you get if you can get the ball to him,
What's really funny about all this conversation is this is just it's Elves in a nutshell, right? It's oh man, if they roll the dice or if they don't get blown to pieces.
Yes, if they survive, just 5 more minutes.
It's just oh god, oh man, they're gonna have to do this, and this, and then the next turn, oh no, they got to do this, and this.
Yeah.
It feels like you've got no control whatsoever when you play Elves sometimes. You're just scrambling and hoping that the dice are in your favor. It does make me laugh, though.
Yeah. Well, I would say normal orcs won't have, but I think Queen Mathamus, the orc, will definitely have a good ability to get out of this sort of problem. But
standard orcs, crazy agility break tackles.
Exactly. I think I do not like Lalalaprout's prioritization here. If this... Oh, again! Again! Oh my god.
Got it.
I just assume that it's...
and now... dodgy dice.
It's impressive how this is, not good for either.
It really is. It's just it's not good for anybody because Lalalaprout needs to grab the ball and go and down score, and the Elves are just fighting for their lives at this point.
Yeah.
And it's still not even horrendous. It's what, a dodge into 1 dice? Nope, not even in. Nope, that's not 1 dice. That's uphill. That's not good. Oh god.
Yeah, like I said, I think both of them right now is this is not good. This I don't think any of them is really liking this.
I think it's dodge witch from the. Oh god, we're off in a different direction.
Yeah.
It looks like there's going to be some fighting going on.
Seems to be fighting going on again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have dodged the witch from the bottom and then tried to mark the warrior that this witch has just marked. And then dodge out blitz with the blitzer, 1 dice, try and push it out the way. And then use the witch to jump up 3+, and then just try and get out of there. And just make a break for it.
Gonna go for the 2 dice. Yep. I'm gonna push that one away there.
Ooh.
No!
Oh no, it's the 1 in 81.
Oh, and just to make really sure you did not appreciate that, there is another kick to the face. Wow.
I think it might be going to overtime.
It's definitely a good chance looking at it. Or at least I'm gonna say there's gonna be some bludgeoning that needs to be going in the Elves way up here if it's.
Well, they've got the tackle player, right?
Yeah.
They've got the tackle player. And if that goes down, then it's just a 3+ pickup with sure hands. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
not
bringing
good.
Yeah, you're bringing this guy up here for the 3rd time.
Ideally, I would say yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and of course it's easy to say now afterwards, right? The cost of pushing your luck repeatedly is eventually it's gonna break.
Well, I think that's why you have to make the decision.
Yeah.
Are you going to grab the ball and run away? And if you get an opportunity to run through, you're going to run through, or are you, and like most likely you're not going to get that chance, and you're going to kind of just get like you're just going to kind of hunker down and hold out the best you can,
Yeah.
and not let them score, or are you going to go for the arguably riskier play of getting that early touchdown? Then you're 2-0 up and you're pretty much fine regardless of players on the pitch.
Yeah, the Elves have lost more or less half their team at this point. Wow, that's important. Are we going to make the ball bounce? Yep, we're going to make the ball bounce. And hope for a... Yeah, not that. Now the question here almost becomes for the Dark Elves. Are you just going to let the cast team score and try to minimize attrition and keep your 1 reroll forward time? Or are you going to mount some Hail Mary attempted defense here?
Have to wait and see if they pick the ball up first.
True. True. There was no Butterfingers there. Yeah.
I think you have to throw all of your elves at this. I think you have to.
I think it really depends on what type of like what's gonna happen, like what decisions does Lalalaprout do here, because there's no real good place to put this ball, and depending on how bad you place it, either I'm throwing all my marbles at it or I am taking it slow.
I don't see a way in which this ball is ever even remotely safe. I'm throwing all of my elves and all my marbles at this ball next turn.
Yeah, I think you're right. What is this? What is this? Is there's only this guy to build any defense with right in a second, right? Where are you placing him if you're leaving him there?
Well, I don't think you can move
Wow.
forward. Okay, so is that just like a 2+, 3+, and then a 2+3+ for 2D? Maybe not even that. Not even
Oh,
needed.
he's gonna get 2D now in a second. Like unless it gets to be a snake one.
Yeah, it's now what? Like what? 2 die, 2
You
plus 2
go
push
out,
for
and then we
yeah.
go. But I think
Oh, they've gone for the
no,
1D.
don't do it with one.
Oh, the
Oh
pain.
no. Also,
Mark, why do you like 1 dices so much? You're not a dwarf player.
and I think it might be because he's thinking strip ball, but still, he should have stood
No, I
this
don't
up.
care. I don't care about strip ball.
Yeah,
Just like, you're not a dwarf coach. Stop 1 dicing when you could have very easily had 2 dice.
no, he should have two diced. That I think you need to put this forward, and then you need to.
You've got a 3-2 out with the sidestepper and get that slammed in as well.
Mm,
You have to just dodge everything and throw everything at the
so
ball.
there's a tackle there, which I think I'm not going to take it. I've rather eat those actions down here than that one. I'm moving.
Oh yeah, I'm moving the witch first,
Yeah,
then I'm doing the sidestepper, and then
the prone
I
one.
yes,
I
and
I
then
I've,
the other sidestepper. I don't really know if I'm moving that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I'm gonna stand them both up and leave them in place.
I'm tempted to 3-2 out
Because
the
the point is all is also you would
yeah.
have
That's what I would have done.
yeah the thing that I liked about the leaving in place is that both the two tackle pieces would almost no would have been pinned down.
Yeah, I don't mind that because I think I would have done the same thing of like because if you mark that stat of that tackle player, this bottom one's not really doing that much.
No,
Um, I don't hate that, but it was quite risky.
congrats, Bitsy. That means you get the prize of playing me against next round.
Oh
Aren't you
no.
happy? That is the prize everyone wants to.
My dark elves they keep falling apart. Can you tell them to stop? My
Yes.
dark elves keep falling apart, and I I thought I was done with playing games with massive levels of inducements, and apparently no. I think I'm going to be down like 300 or more in the next like 3 games in a row,
Yeah.
which normally isn't great for my odds of survival. I have a couple of really good players as well. I have a Wrestle Witch with
What
plus
the
movement. Oh,
fudge? Okay, that's what you're doing.
chain
Okay.
push.
Chain push. Okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, I was like, what the?
Yeah, chain push, and then rotate round in cage
Okay.
removal. Okay, this should be nice and chill now. The Chaos team can relax. They have achieved greatness. They have removed enough players.
Yeah, yeah. What do you do as Elves at this point?
I'm running away.
Yeah.
I think I am. I'm either running away or I'm just going to go screw it and keep throwing stuff at them and just see if sidestep and blodge could save the day.
I think if you're going to do that, I think you should do one turn where you sort of regroup and give them so that you don't sort of like keep feeding them one piece to kill each turn, but so that you have them all in one go instead of because he has three
I feel
turns
like,
and there's
yeah,
12
I
squares.
feel,
You don't need
I
to
feel
delay much.
like, yeah, I feel like if you don't go all in now and just you have to just go in all in every single turn and you just have to hope because if it goes to overtime it would just be it's going to be most likely an exact repeat of this half.
Well, I
where
think
you
I
you
think
you
he's
receive.
gonna go for Daka. If he goes to overtime and else receive, he has to go for Daka, right?
I don't think he's got enough players.
Well, if you got 3 players, you can do Daka. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but like, it's your best odds. Because if you score early, he's just gonna score again afterwards, and he's mostly gonna score again. I will definitely be watching that Blitzy. Yeah, I think Ringtail's Skaven was already a bit beaten up before your match, so they were probably in a pretty bad spot. Well, he has 13 rats, so it's a little bit hard to table him. But see, this I like. I like the soft squeeze, but enough that you still have some time to attrition and you can slow him down. Not much, but just slow him enough now, and you can then really start mounting the pressure the next turn and the next turn, and hopefully slow him enough that you can either steal his rerolls or force him to score early or something. Because if you were just going to lay down, I think if you a scarce player, you need to start humping him.
Yeah, the Chaos team needs to, in my opinion, blitz the witch and move forwards.
Yeah.
They decided not to blitz the witch, but they are still moving forwards, which I can't disagree with.
No.
That's fine.
I'm thinking that his thinking is, I need to claim as many squares as possible. That's which I think makes sense. I'm not. I would probably be doing the same. Because like from his point of view, he needs to get that touchdown, right? As much as it's given for everyone, and it's not like technical difficult math, but like he needs that touchdown to stay in the game, right? And as see, almost like here, you can't block here.
No, well, I mean, you can. I wouldn't.
Yes, that's better phrasing.
Chaos running out of time bank.
Yeah, that is also a thing to be mindful of. And now, as Dark Elf player, you have to basically just throw everything in the wall, hope it sticks.
Yeah, you blitz one of these top front cages and you just dodge everything out and slam sidestep on everything and you just hope.
Yeah.
And then we see what happens basically.
Yeah. Stand up, move that down. Well, maybe we actually move that one. No, that's tackled there, so that one second. Well, yeah. That's also an option. Wow, do you reroll?
Oh my word.
Oh! Now, do you regret not putting one player down here so that it would have been 2 dice? Maybe? Wow. Stand up. And if these get out... No. You want that square. Here's the tentacles. Going to save the day.
I think you have to leave the other side step where it is. Oh no. Oh my. I mean, it might just be fine there, to be honest, but
you gotta put it down here.
I'd like to get it stuck onto the ball more.
I think here, just so we don't have the No, no, don't
So
like
the
this.
thing I'm gonna say about sidestep is, ideally, when you're sidestepping onto a ball carrier, for example,
Yeah.
what you want to do is you want to be stood either above, below, left, or right of the player that you want to mark. Because what happens is, if you're in one of those positions, it's much, much harder to get you off because
Yeah.
they have to fill in way more squares.
Yeah.
If you're stood on the corner, like they are now, they only have to fill in a couple of squares
Yeah.
and they can hit you.
Oh, that's
And
important.
um, and if they hit you, you can sidestep, but you aren't going to be touching the ball anymore.
That's important.
I think there's going to be a handoff here.
Could be.
I think they blitz the
So
whips
I think
back down.
I
They
think
hand it off.
I think they were hoping. Wow.
Now there's definitely going to be a handoff.
Yeah.
Now we see if there's butterfingers or not.
Oh God. If that.
Gambling it all on a 1 in 9.
Oh, more attrition. The not a huge perk, but like he has to score now if he does the handoff.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, handoff, score, and the Dark Elves 99.9% of the time are not going to be doing a one turn with like 3 players.
No, but they get double chances to get those KOs back, which I think is
it's gonna be important. I don't know if it's gonna do much. But
well.
yeah.
I would put it this way: if attrition stops here, those two come back. The biggest problem the Mark has is the no rerolls for overtime. Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta reroll. Gotta reroll.
Okay, gets it, and then should in theory go and score.
No!
Run out of time.
Oh,
Run out of time. Oh no.
Oh my. Oh.
So is it what 3-2 away from tackle and 1 dice on the ball? Oh my word. Three-two for 1 dice. I don't think you're getting anything else out of this one.
I think that's yeah. No.
No.
Nuffle being cruel. Like
Nuffle being cruel,
even a push would have been magically better, right?
Yeah. But well, now Lalalaprout, please, for the love of all anything, just go and score. You can hit stuff if you want to, but you ain't got long. Oh my word!
Okay. I am the cautious player, but I would take the touchdown. I would not even risk trip one. Oh, I would get a view. Okay, but
I mean, I would also just take the touchdown in this scenario. I think if you get the touchdown here, you just go and win in overtime, and you're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And more attraction though. Ooh. Yeah. I have not won very many games due to time being a factor, but it has happened on a small number of occasions.
Cheeky.
$50. And bank doesn't stop when actions are being done.
No.
Is there anything else to hit? Not really. Oh, I'm proud you're giving me a heart attack.
You sure know how to keep the... Of course he's going to do just the...
$30 seconds. There we go. Okay. Whew. Man, imagine if there was some quad skulls or something going on there.
Yeah, like in all fairness, just the quad skull alone in itself would be huge, because quad skull would mean you lose your final reroll. Like that means you have nothing.
Well, you not only do you lose the game.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a grand total of 5 elves versus 11,
Yeah.
and
They didn't win the toss. I think that's
did
more or
not
less.
win the toss either.
No.
And the Chaos are wanting to have the ball, which makes a lot of sense.
Blitz. Is this? I think that's more or less it.
I don't even think a blitz helps her.
Like a blitz and a failed pickup or something it has to go like really wrong. Like it's not enough, the blitz in itself. But I would rather put it this way: if there's no blitz, it is going to be a lot more harder.
I mean, the opponent has to be bad for you to get something out of this game, I feel like. And I don't think, from what I've seen from Lalalaprout, that they are bad. They seem to be a very solid player. They are just terrible on time bank. But outside of that, they have demonstrated that they don't make dumb mistakes.
No. I think in all fairness, just imagine the slight detail of a difference. If turn what would that be, 15 had been turn 16, he would have run out of bank before scoring the 1-1. So had run out of time on turn 16 instead of turn 15. That would have been.
Player down and surrounded by the opposing team. This isn't going to be pretty.
So
There's only one word to say about this ball.
now this becomes sort of a question of when do you try to make a play here as the Dark Elf?
Just squash him next time.
You're gonna have to try to make a play at some point.
Oh no, my mistake. He's on the ground.
The winner of this plays who in the...
So
Next
Blitzy
stage.
won his quarterfinal, so he gets the pleasure of meeting me in the other semifinal, and whoever wins with me and Blitzy will face off against the winner of this.
Right, okay.
So it is to be. Oh, okay, well, thank you, Nuffle.
Nice trip ones there. That's what you like to see.
Yeah.
Are they dancing or fighting?
You know, I know you have to make a play at some point, but I don't really. I think the best thing you're going to get is maybe 5+ uphill.
Problem is also at this point already. It's like you have like the chaos needs to start falling, just to clear the pitch more or less.
I don't even think they don't even need to be fouling.
Well, there's nothing more to hit at this point, right?
Yeah, but there's no need. Just wall them in.
So I almost lost my last league match to Pro Elves because of timeout. So scored last turn, but they got then 2 turns to score in, which gave them a 1-1 for the first half, and then technically they could have just scored once in the second half and they would have won, right? But technically, if sort of similar stuff happens here, like you as Lalalaprout score turn 24, and you get a timeout, then the Elves gets 2 turns to score. Not saying it's super likely, but they could. Then you are back at draw.
I do not even see the Dark Elves getting a draw if they even get 2 turns. Just because they don't have the players.
No, the main thing should be mostly a question of, wow, the dodging seems to have been failing quite horribly here towards. Like the most is the sidestepping and bludgeon that can maybe do it. That potentially can do it in 2 turns.
That's the thing, right? What happens is they get 2 turns. They've got 5 elves. 3 of them are stuck to the LOS.
Well, they can dodge.
LOS.
They can dodge out because it's a normal turn. You get 2 turns, so they can dodge out.
Okay, they can dodge out, and then they can get like maybe 1 or 2 scoring threats, and then you just get all of your 11 players, and you just go wham, and go good luck.
Well, yeah. But I'd say like, one of the more silly things I've seen was like there was a perfect, like, lovely wall and everything. There was no holes, and the opponent went up and he up-tilled a player so that he went down, and then he jumped over the player. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, that's possible. Sure. That's.
I mean, if it's the play, it's the play.
Oh, and a 5+ jump. What's that between friends, right? I would be spending more energy on protecting my ball carrier here. Okay. I think Mark has... Oh, is he reconnecting or is it conceding here? Let's see. That's a bit interesting. No, he conceded. I think it's just animations that are a little bit out of sync. Cool.
That is fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think I might have tried a long shot there at the end of an uphill with the witch elf just to see if magic could happen. But yeah, it would be something like that. But yeah. So congrats to Lalalaprout, and the killing of chaos continues, and congratulations to Mark, which quite upsets our poll.
Yep, I lost my channel points. That is not good for me. Didn't have many to begin with.
Yeah, that will do it. So Lalalaprout wins and moves on to the final, and will face off against some either Nurgle or some orcs, which I think his Chaos Claws will be very happy about. Can't say the same for the orcs or potential. I think the Nurgle, as far as I remember, team also has some claws, so I think they should be definitely within the realm of being able to handle that. But yeah, but I think like we talked about to begin with, it would come down to when the removals happened and how many, and the Dark Elf armor held good to begin with, but then as it started to crumble, it really started to turn things. I can see both Maklo and Lalalaprout is at least in chat. I don't know if any of them is on comms or
hello.
Hello. So commiserations. That was Nile baiting mostly towards the end, at least until the second half end.
Yeah, the attrition kind of started to mount up in the second half. So it was just getting to the point I had just too few players to do anything. So it's like I got down to 4, and I was thinking, I might as well concede here because there's not going to be anything. He's gonna cage up, protect it with the guard. He's got the tackle, mighty blows.
Yeah.
He's just going to bang me out. So it was an inevitable result, really.
Yeah. I think you would need like trip ones from Lalalaprout side or something similar to turn the game at that point. Something like ridiculous. Anything show that the game was definitely over that point.
Yeah.
So
No, I think it was a good game. It was like nice and tense at the start. It was obviously he managed to get the ball off and score on Lala's drive. So I was actually quite optimistic going into the second half. But then once those players started going down left, right, and centre, it was like this is going to be a struggle now.
yeah,
We were talking a lot about we think that there was a couple of things of like turning points, like that the Apo usage on the KO was brave.
Questionable, yes.
And then I think in the second half, the decision kind of had to be made of, are you going to just gamble and go for the 2-turn, or are you going to grab the ball and run away? And you kind of did a bit of both and got punched in the face an awful lot.
Yeah, no, that was the case. The initial thought was quick score on that my right hand side, but I only got the push on the Chaos Warrior. So I was like, I kind of like when the push happened, I kind of changed my mind a little bit. So I kind of left him out to dry, pulled the guy back, and then thought I'd set up a couple of screens, but he still managed to get the sack on. Double rush to get the sack, but yeah, it was there. I hadn't actually counted out my squares. I should have probably put my runner about one square back just to be on the safe side. But yeah, I think I divvied there a lot because so it was the initial right. I've got I'm 1-0 out. It's my drive. I'm running out of players. If I can get it on a blodger, quick get up that right hand side, quick score hopefully, or I'll just get in deep into Lala's half and then see what happens. But yeah, divvied, and then obviously it cost me.
Yeah, and then the attrition happened, and you were already down to about like 8 or 9. So once that started going down to 7s and 6s, it started to get just.
I was happy the worst player. I'd caused him all sorts of problems. So it's like it was making, obviously, the fact he's used all his time back, he's had to think about it a lot. But yeah, it's just the way it goes. So he's got a really good team. Obviously, he sets up really well, and obviously, once he gets the advantage, he's really good at pressuring and keeping that advantage.
definitely.
Yeah, the first half was very, very good. I liked the pressure. I was kind of wincing at times. I was like, oh god, if this armor doesn't hold, this is going to go really badly. But it did, and it just all the bludgeon sidesteps caused nightmares. And you did manage to get the ball, and and
if it was a league
pop off
game,
with it.
I would have played completely different because obviously league game I'm protecting my players, but this is a friendly, so it's like right, I'm gonna go balls to the wall. I'm just gonna go for it, and if I see an opportunity at the ball, I'm gonna go for it. And there's a couple of pops at the ball, and yeah, it paid off.
Yeah, we were definitely talking about like you and it paid off to a large extent, right? Like the aggressive play style, like you said, like really balls to the wall of Dago play. But at least the first half was clearly marked by being rewarded for that, and it's quite sort of instant that exactly that point where you sort of started to tone that little bit back down on that first turn of second half, right? That is sort of when things starts going bad.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things in bubble, like you are always trying to make the best decision at any given moment, right? So it's never like you go like, I'm gonna make a second decision here. It just happens, but it is one bad decision and everything can just like really quickly.
Yeah, I was thinking like possibly just running away, but the thing is, he's got obviously Chaos are the same speed effectively, so I'm not going to get too far away from him. And then you're always just going to be fighting off the back foot, and I'm going to struggle then to make a little gap in his lines to sneak someone through, especially with only like 6 or 7 players left.
Yeah. I think though in second half there was a point where
there was a point where there was like a dodging one die on like a warrior to push it off the witch, and then like a dodge and like a double rush handoff on the 3+ to the witch, and then to dodge out and make a potato play.
Yeah.
But it was obviously like quite a risky one, and you decided to play it a bit more safe and go for a more like more of a screening against the sideline.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so I kind of stayed away from it a little bit, but yeah, and then obviously managed to get round and get the both down and take the ball down. I was hoping for a little bit more of a fortunate scatter from the ball as well. I was hoping that was going to fall backwards towards my guys. And then I think that's when I tried to do a push off with the runner. I just needed a push, so that there was only one tackle zone on the on the ball. And unfortunately, I had to do it with my runner, and it was like 1 in 9 to 1 in 9. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So it's like that's not what I wanted, because I didn't really want to be using my rerolls at that point. I was thinking it's potentially going to go to overtime, but I think I just had to, because it was a case, if I can get this and get it down deep, then he's going to struggle to score.
Yeah. And then I think shortly after, you had the where you chose with the witch and not bring both of them, so you only got one dice, which gave 2 pushes. Where we were talking about, you should have probably brought up the witch number 2.
Where was that? Where
they grabbed the ball off you, and then they just kind of stood in the middle in the open, and then you dodged out one witch and did a 1-die blitz instead of dodging the one out and marking, and then dodging the one out.
I think that was because that was moved my my block tackle witch, and I was thinking, well, it is 1 dice, but it's 1 dice into 1 dice, but it was just
the one with
push.
strip ball as well, but they had the sure hands.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a pain, but no, I had a couple of bites of the cherry, but no, well played to La. Obviously, very good with the positioning, and obviously playing for that position of strength. Obviously, was able to like sort of just keep me suppressed effectively.
Yeah, I think Lalalaprout also mentioned in chat, like he won both of the 2 tosses, which is of course also matters, especially when going to the third half. I think we were at least talking about like even if you had won the toss for the first half, it would have been it would have been possible, but it would be a difficult. It's Mark, 13.
Mark got a blitz. He kind of won half a toss.
Yeah, I managed to sneak a few guys through, but I don't think I really capitalised on it, did I? No. He just managed to keep. I'm trying to remember. There was the blitz. I managed to gate dodge a few guys through.
They didn't score, so
yeah. That was it. That was at the end of the first half, wasn't it? Yeah. So that was the pressure play. But yeah, no. If I only had some more numbers, I think maybe I would have pushed it a little bit harder. I'm going to enjoy watching the VOD back, because it's going to be nice to watch it in the morning, and obviously just sort of have a calm think about what I could have done differently there as well. If there's anything, I think thinking now there is a couple of things I should have done differently, but it's well played to La.
You'll hear me when you didn't dodge that second witch out for the 2 dice. You'll hear me going, Mark, what are you doing? You're not a dwarf, coach.
What was he? I don't know. Was she free? I'm wondering if I was thinking about keeping her for the recovery. Maybe, I don't know.
She was. They were both would need to dodge out.
Further back, weren't they? Yeah.
I think it was it must have been like turn 13, turn 12.
Yeah.
This is the turn after. So your turn 13, yeah. So I like the clearing of this guy over here, so that you open up the total space. Then I would have brought one up for assist, and then the other one to sort of.
Should have done, yeah, because that's an easy dodge as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we could have into 1 dice, but then
with the pickup, right?
If you get the knockdown, you can kind of dodge through, pick the ball up if it goes the right way, and I think even just getting the ball on the floor there is something that's quite important.
Considering how tight the time schedule gets towards the end here, yeah, like just having to pick that up again down here would have made a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
So, and
it was a really good game. Obviously, there wasn't too much to commentate on in the overtime, because it was 5 versus 11, and Archangel was trying to be optimistic, like, well, if
still
Mark
a chance,
gets blitzed,
still a chance,
and I'm literally just like, I'm sorry, but like, even if Mark gets a blitz, like, no, it's not happening.
I don't know, with the strength 4s, it's always a problem, like Chaos, Nurgle, the Orcs, it's always like, and especially when they got a full team and your players down, it's like trying to find those little gaps where you can poke through and cause some problems. As La 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 was solid with his like sort of spreading out. So you know, you had the strength fours at the end, and it was like difficult to find anywhere to sort of poke through and cause some problems. And obviously, too few players to do anything about it as well. Always going to be struggling.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the difference between the three different elves, right? Like the two other elves have higher mobility, so they can better, how to say, use speed to the advantage to sort of gain the upper hand. Whereas because Dark Elves have that higher armor value, they also have slow speed, but that means that they have to brawl much more for their, let's say, blocking of the opponent. But that also means like if you don't have as many players, you're not able to block them because you don't have the numbers, right?
Kind of worked in the first half. Obviously, I was able
Oh,
to
yeah.
get involved in the fight a little bit. The sidestep, like La 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 says in the chat there, obviously the sidestepping was causing a lot of issues in there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and then obviously that then allowed the sack of the ball and the run away and score effectively. So it's just unfortunately the armor couldn't hold.
Yeah. And we were also slightly joking about like it would have been really a different result if Lala Time Bank had run out on turn 16 instead of turn 15.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
think the
realise
time
what
bank was
happened there.
ticking down, and Lala's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to take this punch, and I'm going to take this punch," and I'm like, "Lala, please,
Please,
just score, please, for
please,
the love
please,
of God."
please. You have 30 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, like that. Please, please stop. Just score, score. Oh,
Now, I wasn't
this.
going to do it, but quick question. If I'd have like on my sidestep and if I'd have just waited out my 30 seconds on my sidestep, would that have eaten into La La last time? Not that I would have
No,
thought of doing
no,
that
no, no,
normally,
no.
but
It will
It
eat
would have went
into
into your.
your life. Yeah.
good.
The game's
That
not.
thought didn't cross
The
my
game's
mind.
not that buggy.
No.
I mean, yeah, it's not great the start of this season. Don't get me
No.
wrong.
No,
Um,
see, we're getting bugs in the replay still. That's amazing, but yeah.
oh God, don't. I just this season has been abysmal.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if there was last minute things or what the hell has gone on.
I
But the start
this
of this
is
season has been abysmal.
I have a suspicion, and I have no facts to pin to say this, but this is purely my suspicion. There was a QA not long before the season start that came out that changed a few things, and those things, yeah, Mathemus is mentioning this also. I think
Yeah,
they
I
got
have. I
forced.
have a.
I think they got forced into the roadmap, and I think for better or worse, that is what caused a lot of problems.
I think. Like I knew before the season kind of kicked off that the like star players for the season were going to get delayed. And I was like, you know what, that's fine. I don't really mind about the star players. Plus, if we release them a little bit into the season or whatever, it's a nice little kind of thing in the middle of the season, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then like the FAQ stuff, like yeah, I think maybe they bit off a bit more than they could chew. They've not implemented all of the FAQ, but they've implemented I think most of it. But I think on shorter notice and trying to get as much of it in the game as possible for the start of a season, because oftentimes they don't like to change things in the mid-season because everybody decides to get the torches and pitchforks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand, trying to make the effort to try and get it to be as the FAQ says, but I feel like, to be honest, it might have just been worth saying, you know what? No, just do that next season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like also because it's not the things that got FAQ'd are of course like it changes things, but it's not like huge meaningful changes. It's not like, oh, this is a completely different way of playing the game now. It's like tiny little details where it's like, yeah, whatever. Like,
And the main thing about the FAQs is that they're not massive changes, but
yeah,
what they do is they change the way that things are ordered. And
yeah,
when things are ordered differently, when you have to change the code, something breaks. It
oh yeah,
always does. If it's working and then you touch it, it breaks.
yeah.
That's normally how coding works.
It's
You just have to
actually,
hope that it stays working while it's working.
yeah, it's actually almost as if the fact that Lalalaprout runs out on turn 15 and therefore only scores on turn 16 is actually ending up hurting you more, because you would have had most likely 2 rolls of getting your KOs back, which would have been 2 more players, which would have at least put you in a fighting chance position, and maybe even
It would give you 7 players, which is not
it's
awful.
it gets to the point where like 7 players you have a chance, a tiny chance, but at least you have a chance, right? Whereas if you have 5, it's just like you're gonna get mauled every turn.
Yeah. Then it went down to 4, and it's like,
Yeah,
I can't. There's no point now.
No.
Let's
So
congratulate him, and
yeah.
On to the next one.
I think I played I think probably a semi-final versus Galentio, and I think I also conceded after the first half, and it was like it was my drive. He ended up getting the ball and scoring, so I had to try to push for a equalizer of a 1-1, which I forced maybe a little bit too hard, so he scored a second time, and then it was 2-0 on my drive against me, and it was just like, there's no reason to waste everyone's time for the second half here. I'm not scoring 3 times with an Orc team against Undead. That's not gonna happen. So the win is yours. Fair is fair, right? So I don't think it's wrong in a let's call it friendly match setup where there's no star player points or anything on that we win or lose anyway. So, but yeah.
Yeah, if it's a side competition, so it's like, it's the only thing that's there is glory, right? So if the game is over, or if you believe the game is over, or maybe, I don't know, you're not necessarily feeling it anymore, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, congratulations to Lalalaprout. Into the final they go, on the charge as the murderous chaos team that they are.
Yes.
And waiting for them will be either an Orc team or a Nurgle team, which are both also very killy.
It seems like
I'd just like to point out that it's the same group of the same group of players that have come up. It's one of our teams has always qualified for the final. We had Cyphus in the first season I joined, then Zenjo last year, and now Lala as well. So top group ours is an outdoor rest.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
We were actually talking about that before the match started. That it's sort of interesting that it seems like Aldorf West is right now like probably the hottest contended division that we have of this season.
I'd agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. There is
it's definitely, I think, maybe barring, no offense to the Goblins.
Are you saying the Goblins are not competitive? I just want that on the record.
No, I think that the Goblins are what I would call a divisional roadblock that may or may not exist just to humble and kill off some players.
Yeah.
And it keeps everybody honest, I believe. But everybody else, there's a fair amount of killy teams. Like, there's like some pretty killy humans. There's the Nurgle. There's the very killy Zenjo's lizards. Me and Mark are playing Dark Elves and trying not to die. And then I think there's like a few other teams, like a pretty nice like OWA team
Dionysus is Orcs as well. There's a fair bit of Mighty Blow and Guard in there. The Nurgles, yeah. So yeah, there's a few banger teams.
I mean, I think we're the only ones that aren't banger teams. Apart from, I guess, the Goblins, but they're banger.
I suppose OWA are technically bangers as well, aren't they? There's 2 of those.
They're a very controlling team, but Bashi there for you.
Yeah, I think we're the only 2 elves, and then everything else is hybrid or back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm doing quite well this season. I'm quite happy with where I am so far, despite my team crumbling around me.
Plus, you've had a season less than everyone as well with this team, so you're going to be a little bit behind in development. Yeah,
I started this season at like 1200, maybe 1250, I think. Maybe I might have got an extra lineman to get to 1300, but I think most teams in this division were at 1400 to start with. And yeah, I've had one less season than everybody. But yeah, I'm doing well with the skills I have and trying to aim for top 2 spot. I think I'm currently top 2. I'm top 1 currently, but the Nurgles haven't played yet. I think they play tomorrow. So
Well, I think Mats and play tomorrow, so that could be an absolute gore fest, that one.
yeah, so like if that's a draw, I think I'm still top. On I think maybe just touchdown difference. If it's not touchdown difference and it goes to Kaz, they are definitely ahead. I think I'm like minus double digits on Kaz. But yeah, I think I'm pretty solidified as top 2 at the moment with 4-1-1, and I've just got to I've got a bit of a run of bash teams to contend with and see what happens to the team, and if I can get some more results to see if I can
No
come
easy
out on
games.
top.
No easy games left.
None of them were particularly easy to begin with, to be honest. Even the goblins actively murdered a few of my players, and I had to run away from Bomber Dribbles the whole game.
So you didn't win 4-0 in your game? Oh, wow, TV.
Nope, I won. I think it was 2-1 or maybe 2-0. I'm not sure. They didn't take Bomber against you.
No, he played a wizard for some reason, and I really don't. Wizards, I don't know. They just since my first FA Cup season, I don't think I'm ever going to pick a wizard again.
Wizards are great versus Bash and versus Hybrid. They are less good versus Agility.
Yeah.
I was very tempted in my game today against Zenjo because I was playing against their lizards. I was very tempted to take a wizard and just go, "Hey, you super skink, become a frog." Instead, I tried to rely on Morg instead.
Yeah.
Can you do Zap at the moment? I thought Zap was broken.
No, Zap works.
I think it's fixed. I think they were able to fix it server side.
Okay.
It didn't need to be fixed client side, which means it didn't need a patch. Thankfully. But yeah. Apparently that Zap bug's been fixed.
Start selecting Zap now.
Yeah. I mean, no one really uses the Zap very often anyway. Mm-hmm. I think I've only used the Zap against teams like Lizards, Blackhawks, and anything with a strength 2 ball carrier. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll use the Zap. Anything else, I'm just slapping a fireball on 4 players and hoping for the best.
Yeah, I think the Zap definitely works amazing on strength 2 players. I think that's sort of the problem with it, that as soon as they get to just be strength 3, that you are spending too much inducement on something that's only going to work on 2/3, and that's sort of a shame, right?
Yeah, 66% chance, and it doesn't do anything else. No. If it fails, then it's really bad. Whereas if you've got a fireball, it's a 50% chance, but you can at least hit more than one thing.
Oh yeah, and if you're hitting a cage usually, right? Like if the ball carrier or one of the corners goes down, there's a good chance you get to the dice on the ball carrier at least then, right? So at least then in most cases, the fireball will do what it's supposed to. It's not a guarantee that you get the ball, right? But at least you get a chance to get to the ball, which otherwise for like say Elves or Skaven can be quite troublesome sometimes, right?
I mean, the biggest thing about it is just the threat of it.
Oh yeah.
And
150k for a big threat. Oof.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because people who, it's like classic example is Dwarf, right? Like they bunch up in a really tight cage. You're gonna do that with a fireball on the horizon? Never, right? So the mere fact that they have to adjust for that is almost 150k worth, because it limits to certain play styles.
That's what happens is, like, you know, dwarves, they get the ball and they go, okay, look, I have a wall of dwarves and the ball is behind it. I am fine. And then you move a couple of elves around the outsides and they're like, I have to cage, but there is a fireball coming.
Yeah. So, I think before everyone falls asleep listening to us rant about everything and anything, I think we should call it a night. I will say congratulations to you. You fought very well. It was definitely a match worth watching, and I said before the match I was looking forward very much, and you both definitely delivered on that. So, and congratulations to you, Lalalaprout. I hope you get your mic sorted for the final. That would be lovely. But congratulations and well played. And thank you both for turning up and spending some time with me on comms here, both during and after the game. You got any comments, you two, before we close off?
I am finally back streaming again on Wednesday, which is nice after having a week-long plus battle with COVID.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. I'll be back streaming again and kind of just playing some Blood Bowl and messing around with some dice. And yeah, it's been really awesome to be here as always. It's been good fun, and I'm gonna go and probably take it easy and watch some TV.
Probably the same.
I have nothing further to add.
Cool. Then thank you all for spending some time with us, and see you next time. Will probably be the next semifinal, so see you on the dark side, and take care and have fun. I will raid you to somewhere in a second. I'm still working on how to work that stuff out. So take care and have fun. Bye-bye.
Thanks, James.
Bye-bye.
Bye.